In this light sensor example, I want to give just a quick demonstration of how a light sensor works and some of the things you should come to expect as you're building apps for it. So I'm going to go ahead and open my light sensor application. And what you can see here is I have two values, illuminance in lux and timestamp. Now the way the application is written, it's supposed to be grabbing data from the sensor almost immediately. But my guess is that there's some sort of startup time that is required by the light sensor that limits how quickly we can get that first reading. And so it'll take just a few seconds here, and then we should see some data flowing in. So we'll have an illuminance value in lux, and then also a timestamp. And you can see that there we go. Our values have shown up. And so we have a value of 48. I'm sitting in a relatively dark room. I've got some blinds behind me, which is why you can see my reflection so well. But in general, it's not, you can see if we look up at the ceiling, I don't have the light on or anything like that. So these are our values. We have illuminance and lux and a timestamp. And you'll see that if I put my thumb over top of the light sensor, that our value drops very, very low. And then if I lift it off again, our light sensor value comes back up to about what it was before. What's also interesting is I have a really nice green laser pointer here. You can see that I can shine it on the guitar in the background. And I've got a nice bright green dot. And if I go ahead and point that at my light sensor, like so, we'll get values that are significantly higher. 17,000, 18,000. But at one point I saw about 60,000. There we go. So you can see that it can read a significantly large range of values, but what I'm experiencing with each of the different devices that I'm using is that I get slightly different types of data. For example, on the Surface, excuse me, on the Surface device that I've used in some of the other examples, it seems to only give me an integer style value. The data range is still the same, but I don't get this nice long decimal. Instead, I only get what seems to be an integer value back. So that's a little bit about how the light sensor works, and I'll add more to the content in the article.